they started to eat the hearts of your young black Negro babies in Africa. That's what they did. You ever heard about Africans eat people? They were not eating anybody. They was eating you. The prophets in the Bible were black because they were called black in Latin.
Right.
Because why? Latin was the white man's language in that day. Latin was the Romans' language. So the white men call us Niger because that's how you say black. The Bible is a black man's book, y'all. And us black men, we are not Africans. You can't get no evidence that leads your people back to an African people. Give me the Babylon Timbuktu to why these prophets ended up in Africa in history. Babylon Timbuktu, Babu Kashar. Right, Babu Kashar. Page, give me a page, what is that, page 84? Oh, before we get there, do we need that one? Okay, let's read this one first, right? Read right here. Now we're gonna get a history book about black people in history. Read.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
In the year 65 BC, to who?
The Roman army.
The Roman armies. That was Antioch's people. Antiochus Epiphanes. Right now in New York, there's a place called Antioch, New York. Guess why? Because white people enslaved the native Indians and called a town in New York Antioch. They got another Antioch in Tennessee. Why? Because white people came from Europe. These same Romans, these same Greeks, they came to the Americas and they named the place after their own people's names. So we're going to Antioch, New York, and we're going to Antioch, Tennessee. Keep reading.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian.
In 70 AD, a white man called General Vespasian, read,
captured and his son, Titus, put an end to the Jewish state.
These Romans put an end to the Jewish state, meaning what? At this point right here, Negroes lost their homelands. According to history, Negroes lost their homeland. These people that was called Niger, these people that was called nigger, they lost their homeland in 70 AD. Read.
With great slaughter.
With what?
With great slaughter.
What did we suffer when we came to America?
Great slaughter.
What did we suffer by white people before we left our homeland?
Great slaughter.
Doesn't this sound like them? Isn't this what they do? Didn't they slaughter a black man on the train the other day? What was his name? What was his name? Daniel something? Daniels? Huh? Didn't they slaughter Eric Garner on live TV too? The shame. Murdered him on TV. Isn't this what they do? Come on, man.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
All the black people that survived the Roman slaughter, right? There were great atrocities happened to us. Meaning what? They put drugs in our neighborhoods. Right. They gave us police brutality in 70 AD. They gave us black on black crime in 70 AD. They posed one brother against the other brother in 70 AD. Right. But yeah, don't give out flyers.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Over what?
That over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
1 million Jews. The same people that was called Niger in the Latin, the same people that are called nigger today, we fled into Africa.
Right.
Is what it says in history. Not my opinion, not your opinion. The book said the people of Jesus Christ fled into Africa. And those people that fled into Africa, they went on slave ships to the Americas. That is what the Bible was saying in Deuteronomy. That is what Jesus Christ was telling us to flee into the mountains. Read.
Fleeing from Roman persecution.
Fleeing from who?
Roman persecution.
Who's the Romans? The white man. We were running from the white man's persecution. in history books, in the Bible, in history, murdered and slaughtered by the Romans, who are the Caucasian people today. Keep reading.
And slavery.
And what?
Slavery.
What happened when we got to America?
Slavery.
What happened when the ships touched Tennessee?
Slavery.
Read it again. Running from?
Fleeing from Roman persecution.
Fleeing from Roman persecution
And slavery.
The Romans were looking to enslave people.
Right.
This is white people. They were looking to enslave the people of Jesus Christ. And here we have a people in America, some years later, fresh out of slavery, still speaking English. English born out of the Latin, being called Niger, like how the prophets was called Niger. Niger in modern English is nigger. Come on, man. You telling me the puzzle pieces don't fit? Are you telling me that the puzzle pieces don't fit? Negroes are the real Jews. White people were the Romans. And black people were the people of Jesus Christ. We were the Jews that rejected Jesus Christ, and we went into slavery for it. On slave ships. Give me page 116. Now what we doing in Africa? Give me page 116. History book. History for our black people. History for our Latino people. History for white people. Some white people don't know this. Some white people do not know this. White people don't know that they were the people that murdered the black people of Jesus Christ. You got it? Read. Give me right here. It is estimated.
It is estimated that over 100,000 Jews departed from Spain and Portugal.
It was estimated that what?
Over 100,000 Jews.
100,000 Jews did what?
Departed from Spain and Portugal.
You ever heard people say, oh, you're from Spain, you're not 100% white. Or you're from Spain, you might got some black in you. You know why they say that? Because the Negroes were there. The Negroes weren't in Spain. Keep reading. The Negroes was in Portugal. Keep reading.
During the persecutions and the expulsion.
During the what?
The persecutions and the expulsion.
There goes that same persecution again. That same Roman persecution again in Spain. Negroes, we got a lot of history before America. Negroes got a lot of history before we came to the States. Where was Spain? Right across the small sea called right by the Rock of Gibraltar. Where? Across from Africa. Spain is right across from Africa. Spain is right across from the north coast of Africa. This is Negro history, man. If you want to find out who Negroes were before America, you have to look into the history of the Jews. Because before America, Negroes was called the Jews. Before American slavery, the Jewish people were called the Khazars. Read.
Some of these Jews went to Northern Europe, Italy, and Turkey.
Some of these Jews did what?
Went to Northern Europe.
Some of these Jews went to Northern Europe. That is why you hear the rumor that King James was a black man. Because the Jews who are today called Negroes went to Northern Europe. When Russia went to go bomb the living life out of Ukraine, all the TV had to not put Putin live on TV. Why? Because Putin was talking in front of portraits of black men in Russia. Because there was pictures of paintings of black men being a priest in Russia. Because the Jews went to Northern Europe. Do we have the Russian icons out here? You get a book. Look it up on your phone, right? Go on Amazon. Look up a book called The Russian Icons. You're gonna see pictures of black people before America. How we lived, how we dressed, how our skin color was. And it's all written out through our history. We're not Africans, we're not the same. All right? According to all of history, read.
Italy and Turkey, but most of them went to Muslim countries of Northern and Western Africa.
What was he doing in Africa?
Most of them went to Muslim countries of Northern and Western Africa.
You ever heard people in Trinidad? There's people in Trinidad that say when they landed in Trinidad, they came to Trinidad as Muslims. You ever heard that before? The people from Trinidad, they say their forefathers got to Trinidad in the Muslim religion. Why? Because those people were shipped from the north coast of Africa, which were called Muslim countries. Why? Keep reading.
These black Jews,
These what?
these black Jews,
These white Jews.
these black Jews,
Or color don't matter.
these black Jews
Who are black people in America? The black people in America are the black Jews in history. Read.
would naturally go to African countries.
These black Jews would naturally go to African countries,
Most of all, because of less persecution.
less of persecution. There you go, that word persecution again for the fourth time, because white people was trying to enslave us. They was trying to persecute us. Read.
And they could disguise themselves,
And the black people, black Jews,
could disguise themselves
could disguise themselves
easily
among
blacks.
Blacks in Africa. So Negroes was in Africa because we were trying to disguise ourselves amongst other black-faced people.
Right.
That is what Negroes was doing in Africa. And the Africans hated it. They hate it up until this day. That's why they don't claim you. That's why when they sold you into slavery, they did not send a ship back for you.
Right.
Because they was glad to get rid of you. They said you trespassed on their land and they was eating you because they didn't know how to get rid of you. And they didn't understand why you could create so much genres and you beat the drum so well and you create all this music and you dance so well and you run so fast. So what did they start doing? They started to eat the hearts of your young black Negro babies in Africa. That's what they did. You ever heard about Africans eat people? They were not eating anybody. They was eating you. Because you, as a Negro, smelled funny to an African. You smelled nice to an African. You smelled delicious to an African. Negroes are not African.
Let nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?